Welcome to Comics League, Indie Wednesday. I'm Jared, and today we got a very special book in line for you guys. So this is actually, I'd like to thank Nick from the Phoenix Press for this one because he got me hooked on this series. We are talking about Michael Turner's Fathom from Top Cow Comics. This is the Tower Records edition. This is the first issue in a new series. And what's cool about this one, hang on, audio. So anyway, the cool part about this is that it's actually a crossover among three different properties. There's Fathom, there's Witchblade, and then there's Lara Croft Tomb Raider, because Top Cow did the Lara Croft comics. So on that note, let's head over to the Comic Cam, and then I will flip through the book, and then we'll talk about it. All right. So, Fathom Tower Records Edition, Part 1 of 3. And let me know if you guys like this book, because what we'll do, I'm just going to minimize my screen, because what we'll do is that I will actually also talk about it later. What I mean is that if you guys like this series, I'll get the other two issues and then we'll talk about it. So anyway, Fathom Tower Records Edition. So this is going to start off. They start off with this merman type dude. He's talking about the main character named Aspen. Aspen is Fathom. Think of her kind of like Aquaman in that she has this, I guess, heritage. I haven't read that much into the series, but she has these powers and that she can survive in space. She's a marine biologist, and what she does is so mankind won't discover the Atlanteans and like mess them up. What she does is that she's a marine biologist, but whenever she presents like research, she hides in a few falsehoods. So in other words, she's trying to hide the existence of, I'm going to call them Atlanteans, of the Atlanteans from mankind, because she knows that if mankind discovers them, well, we got trouble. So moving on, we turn the page. We get Aspen. She's snowboarding, and I love how this transitions, because he goes, because the Aquaman dude goes, Aspen takes things very seriously, and there's her having a great time on snowboarding. Then we have this one dude. He gets abducted by other fish people. Then we have Aspen talking to this reporter, and Aspen basically doesn't talk to reporters and such, because again, she doesn't want to give them information on the dude, on the Atlanteans. Then he's taken by the Atlantean dude, and I believe his name is Killian. He's taken by someone named Taurus. So let me just make sure that that's his name. Oh, it's called Buranha. Okay, it's kind of like Piranha. So anyway, we cut to here. Aspen and her journalist friend are again snowboarding and skiing, and the friend eats snow. Then we cut to this cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. And this girl's in the shower. She walks out, and it's Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider. It turns out that she was on the boat too, below decks, and she didn't hear Cannon get abducted. So turning, now we have Witchblade. So she's a cop, and she has this watch that's basically like a symbiotic creature that it gives her like armor. And in fact, we have an advertisement for the statue later on in the comic that has all these different that has like basically what the armor looks like when it's all around it. So moving on. So that's basically what the Witchblade entity kind of looks like. It's got like tentacles and stuff, so it's kind of like Doc Ock, but it's also kind of Spider-Man-y, and that's coming out of her arm. But it's really, really dope. And by the way, this Michael Turner art is fantastic. R.I.P. dude, freaking love your art. Then we get into their hotel room, where they're approached by Witchblade, and Witchblade goes, "Listen, I need you to come with me right now. This is really important." It's like a matter of it's the equivalent of when like a Homeland Security guy comes up to a superhero and goes, "It's the matter of national security." By the way, yes, you can see my pops up there. So, and that's what Witchblade essentially looks like. Let's see if I can find that statue. I think that'd be really cool. Then we cut on to Cannon, who's in this pod where he's going to be like killed by this girl whose name is Vanna. I take it she's kind of like an evil version of Mare or something like that. Again, I know nothing about this, about Aspen. I'm just going off of this one issue. I picked it because it was #1, and I figured this would be a good place to start. If you guys have any more information on who these characters are, just drop in the comments, and I'll be sure to read it. So anyway, she tells him, you're slowly being broken down. Essentially, what this pod's going to do is it's going to break down his essence and his being until he's aware. But in other words, he's aware of his surroundings, but he's nothing, if that makes sense. It's the worst possible hell. So then, Witchblade and Fathom go to the docks where they are attacked by this ocean creature. I almost said ocean master. Then Witchblade is essentially thrown into a bar. But so she armors up and wraps her tentacles around this dude, but he goes to water. He essentially liquefies. Now she thinks that that's him getting killed. Essentially, that's him being defeated. She thinks. Not that. So then they are attacked by the main bad guy. So it's essentially what happens that these Atlanteans, if you will, have the ability to go to essentially turn into water. She didn't know that because this is like their first meeting. So, and then they're attacked by this dude. And that's actually the end. This is gonna be a briefer run the comic camera. I just wanted to show you guys that. So I'm gonna go back to main camera. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the art on that, because man, Michael Turner's art is unreal. I'm just gonna hold this against that. Look at that. Michael Turner was one of the, I think, greatest comic book artists I think has ever drawn anything that's ended up in a comic book. It's really like he's one of the most high quality, like he was one of the best, the absolute best artists of all time. He did Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, which is basically the reintroduction of the post-crisis Supergirl. He did he did Fathom, and I believe Fathom was actually his project, and then later he formed Aspen Comics, which is his own comic book company. And unfortunately, he passed to cancer. But it was a real loss in the comic book community. But I particularly like, for some reason, he could draw women really well, really feminine, beautiful, and yeah, essentially they look like women. And I liked his art's dynamic when it comes to actions, and I particularly like how he draws water, and that makes sense because Aspen. I believe that they were going to make a movie of this starring Megan Fox as Aspen before he died. So, And I definitely like the crossover with Tomb Raider, because I had no idea Top Cow did Tomb Raider books, which makes sense because if there's one thing that Michael Turner can draw well, it's beautiful women. And again, Lara Croft is up there. And it's cool seeing all three of these characters team up. And in fact, what's kind of cool is that it looks like a Charlie's Angels thing, like Lara with the gun, Witchblade facing this way, and then Aspen like that with the karate poses. So I definitely enjoyed that book. It's I think, again, if you guys like this series, I will definitely do more of these for Indie Wednesdays. Essentially, I'll finish up. I'll get parts 2 and 3, and then we'll cover it. I also have more of Fathom and Witchblade that we'll go over. If you guys like this series, and if you guys have any other independent books that you want to see, drop in the comments, and I will be sure to fit it into the schedule. If you have already done that, so I'm gonna start looking for those books already. So anyway, stay heroic, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.